Welcome, everybody. My name is Vaughn. This is the Chair Guys. Not really a podcast anymore. It's the Chair Guys YouTube channel. We got my co-host,
Anthony. What's going on, guys?
and today we're reviewing a brand new album. It's Lucki, the Chi-Town MC, Lucki,
Wow, he just
and
said
his
that.
new album, Gemini.
Gemini, that's right. And if by any chance you've been listening to hip hop, the underground Chi-Town scene, and you missed out on who Lucki is. He's been
Chi
releasing
City.
music for over 10 years now, releasing classic projects. And he's here with his newest LP. He's been dropping a lot of LPs lately. His last one, Sex, Money, Drugs, was one I think me and Vaughn both really liked. If I'm
I like that
correct.
one.
For sure.
Yeah,
And so
cool.
now we're here with his newest one
Pretty solid.
to celebrate his zodiac sign, his birthday. I just want to say really quickly, Lucki was actually expected to come perform at my university, but he didn't because he was locked in on album mode. So this was the project that I was waiting to be delivered on because of his cancellation. And we finally got it. Before I get to my thoughts, I want to give it to Vaughn. Vaughn, straight off the gate, what did you think about Gemini?
All right, well, I'm a Pisces, and
I'm a Libra.
it's historical, bro. It's historic, bro. Pisces and Gemini,
Yeah.
they just don't get along, bro.
That's
historic. It's a
wow.
well-known fact.
Wow.
It's a well-known fact.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I just made that up. But I fuck with this album, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
I fuck with it. I'll just come out right and say it. I fuck with it heavily.
Okay.
Here's the thing. A lot of people, they don't like the new Lucki. Hold up, my dogs are barking.
Oof,
Give it a
oof,
second.
oof. Do you think that's Drake?
A lot of people, they don't like the new Lucki. They just like the old Lucki. They're not with the new Lucki. They're not with the new upbeat, chilling out, trapping out beats, They want the old Lucki, the old depressed Lucki, bro. But I'm with this Lucki. I'm with it. I love the old Lucki too, but this one, he's just a different artist now. I think we just have to accept that. Here's the thing. He is a different artist now, but like the beats are just so fucking good on this album.
True.
Like, I don't know about you, but I love the production. Like, the beats are so clean,
True.
so smooth. There's a lot of R&B influence. So like a little bit of, maybe some plug-in B influence as well.
Oh.
And I love the sound. I just love the sound of it. And if there's one complaint to be had with this album, it is kind of the old Lucki versus new Lucki thing where I think his lyrics just aren't as strong. They're just not as like emotionally resonant. He doesn't have those lines where you're just like, damn, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
it's more of just like a chill out vibe. Like, it's a little bit more background music, which is fine. I'm not even saying it in a bad way. A lot of people, they don't want the background music, but it's fine. I love the sound of this album. I love the beats. He still sounds great. His voice still cuts through. And I think the features are amazing too. They kind of enter his world and complement his vibe really well. I really enjoyed all the features on here, especially Future, bro. Future was a real highlight for me. He just came in, just sounded like classic Future, bro. Like, he kind of stole the show on that track.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not as good lyrically as Lucki has been in the past. It's a little more like he sounds like maybe he's kind of on autopilot, but even Lucki on autopilot is still a fucking vibe. And honestly, I've been loving this album since I first heard it. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna take it from there. Like, at first glance, I turned the album on, and from start to finish, it's a good listen. It's a fun listen. Was it necessarily taking me off my feet in any way? Not too much, besides what you just touched on with the production. I was really feeling like the production on here was something pretty special, especially a lot of the synth work on certain tracks were super good. Like on All Love,
For sure.
just a lot of the beat selection of Lucki has
All
always
Love
been
was
strong.
crazy.
I'm always coming to Lucki for All Love. And you know what? One thing I will commend him for is trying to make some of these longer songs. Like there's a couple songs on here, at least two, straight off the bat. The one you mentioned, "Baby Goat." Baby goat. Can
Mm-hmm.
we get a picture of a baby goat right here? Thank you.
Of
I want to
course,
get a
yeah.
picture of a
Baby
baby
goat.
goat.
And now let's put a big goat.
A big goat. Okay. And then outro. Outro was cool. I liked what he
Outro
was
was
doing on
dope.
outro. That was
Yeah.
something that kind of caught my ear. You know, not because of its length, but because of the fact that he was doing a lot. Like it was nice. It was nice to hear. But you're right. I think a project that's good to compare this one to within his discography is Flawless Like Me. Where, for example,
Definitely.
when I listen to Flawless Like Me, that's my most listened to Lucki project. But that's just because when I turn that project on, I'm going to listen to it start to finish because I love the way all the tracks kind of come together in this cohesive manner
Yeah.
to kind of
Yes.
build the atmosphere of not even a bad thing, like Vaughn said, but background music. You know, because there's tracks on there on that project that I'm not going to listen to out of the context of the album, but I'm going to enjoy them
Mhm.
when they come on in the context of the album, and I'm going to really
Yeah.
enjoy them. That's how I felt with this one, but a little bit more than maybe I would like to admit, because I was really sitting there and I listened to this project like 4 or 5 times, and I was
Mhm.
like, oh man, lyrically, I'm not getting too many takeaways. I feel like the reason why old Lucky's sound, or at least his lyricism, and worked a lot better was because he was saying these things that really left an impression on you. You know, he was kind of
Yeah.
opening up into a world of the underground that you don't really see, where these drugs really do take hold and have effect on you. Now, a lot of rappers talk about this, of course, but it's like Lucky just had such a genuine way of talking about it, and one that actually felt painful, and we could really feel that pain. And he does kind of describe it on these songs. There's a little bit where he kind of drops these little one liners where he mentions like, you know, his friends are noticing that these drugs are getting to him and it's like really hurting him. And I like that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're right, there is a battle between old Lucky and new Lucky, but he's definitely going into a new direction because he's a new person. You know what I'm saying? The new situations he's gotten himself into are leading him into a different life. And that's okay. I think for what we have, for what Lucky is still giving to us, it's great. And I'm really liking it. I'm loving what I hear. You know what I'm saying? It's a great overall project. It's true. I think Lucky would come a little bit harder on these lyrics. But I'm actually curious,
Yeah.
Vaughn. I wanna get into it actually, because you know one thing I've also really loved Lucky for, um, at least in recent, is that most of his projects are gonna be just him. But for me, I felt like the only feature on here that was really taking me away was Future and the two V's verses. I really love those, but everything else I was feeling kind of lukewarm on. So I'm curious how you
Really?
felt about the
Okay.
features.
I mean, I already said I actually love the features on here.
Mm-hmm.
I think like maybe, Rilo Rodriguez and 42 Doug maybe didn't meet the standard like Lucky vibe, but I think those tracks were welcome to me just for a little bit of variety, and I did like the vibe that they brought. I think Yachty killed it. I loved his lyrics. They were just fun, and he definitely met Lucky in his own space as well, with kind of the way his delivery was very kind of sleepy, and it just sounded cool. I like that song a lot too. But I mean, I'm with you though. I think as far as like how they work together, how they sound together, V's and Lucky is definitely the best pairing on this album.
Yeah,
They just have so much chemistry.
yeah.
And then yeah, Future, I think they don't necessarily have too much chemistry. But he just killed his verse, so it's just like, yeah, that song is great. But yeah, no, I kind of felt differently. I really loved all the features on here.
That's fair.
But I still appreciate that Lucky is doing his own thing like solo on most of the album.
I think that's like I said, it's another project to compare it to is Flawless Like Me, where there's kind of a
Hmm.
handful of features, but we're getting mostly solo Lucky on a lot of these projects. Like
Hmm.
that, I'm really loving and I'm really enjoying. I think with me, the Yachty feature it's serviceable. Like it does its job for me. I think maybe it's just something I've had with Yachty for a little bit, where like it just didn't hit as hard. I will say though, I'm glad you did point out Rilo, because I think Rilo Rodriguez on his own work is kind of tough. Like I actually had to go and listen to him in preparation for this because I actually wasn't familiar with him That's a lack on my part because I was talking to a friend the other day and he mentioned his name. But I just think on the track Gursky Way, still Lucky's got great kind of vocabulary. Um, I just think he kind of sounds a little weird with his on that song. I don't know if it's the mixing on there or if it's his
I think he
delivery,
just
but
sounds kind of. I mean, I thought he sounded a lot like he was doing a Future impression on there.
interesting.
But I
Yeah.
like him better on his other song, Three Summers Straight with 42 Doug. I
I,
like that song
yeah, I
better
think I
for
think on that
sure.
one he slid a little bit harder on that one for sure.
Yeah.
I really like the second half of the project compared to the first half a lot
Mhm.
more. I think the first half is strong, but I kind of find myself falling into that category of just like, okay, these songs are on, like I'm enjoying them. It's a nice kind of ride while they're on. But then in the second half, there's just like a good chunk of songs where I'm like, ooh, take away. Like these are
Mhm.
strong. These are strong. Like I said, I mentioned outro already. The song Twin Flow with V's was really tough. I really liked Heavy on My Heart. That one right there with
Mhm.
the little sax going on, if I'm
Yeah,
correct.
sax at the end. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
nice. Lucky's been kind of like teasing these kinds of beats in his music a little bit more. Like he did it on Sex Money Drugs. There was a song on there where he was using a lot more instrumentation that you wouldn't necessarily expect in trap music, and it's always very welcome. Like that's always the strong thing about Lucky is that it's gonna be a disappointment if the beats are not good. And funny enough, I think the one thing that people said was like that was on the Filthy Tape collab that he had was that the beats on there weren't as strong. But ever since then, for New Era Lucky, been loving it. Been loving
Yeah.
everything he
I
he's
think
been
just
on.
in general, yeah, I think Lucky just has probably like probably second to maybe Playboy Cardi, just the best taste in trap production. Like every time I listen to an album, it's just like masterclass in fucking trap beats.
Yeah, they're
And
so
and this
glistening.
album is no exception. Yeah,
Yeah,
this album is just so smooth, man. And I do want to also touch on another thing you said where you kind of get into like a flow state with this album, and usually with a trap album, especially in the modern day and era, you know,
yeah,
20 tracks is like a huge red flag. Not into that. But with Lucky, between this album and Flawless Like Me, it's something about his vibe and something about the way he sounds and the beats he picks that I don't mind it. In fact, I
yeah.
kind of like a longer album because I get to stay in that space a little longer, and it's just kind of a almost hypnotic vibe that kind of complements his whole persona and how he sounds on the mic. Just like feeling like a I'm feeling like I'm sipping wok. You know what I'm saying? Like
Did you
feeling like
just
I'm sipping.
can we replay that? Can we replay that in real time? Can we replay that in real time?
feeling
Thank
like
you.
I'm sipping on the wok when I listen to that. When I listen to this album, bro.
I I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how to feel about that. I'm happy you feel that way. Um, and I
Hey
love that
man,
for you because you
I
know
went
what?
for it.
You went for it. You went up for the three. You shot, and and you hit. I think you hit.
The comments are gonna have to let me
The
know.
comments are gonna
The
have to let you
comments will
know.
have to let me know.
Is Vaughn
Yeah,
sipping walk valid? But anyways, moving forward.
I think it's valid, bro. I think it's valid.
Interesting. Anyways, I do agree with you though. I do agree that surprisingly, yes, when rappers are releasing these like 20 track long albums, there's very few in recent times where I'm like red flag moment. Especially just because I feel like the mainstream has
Very
been
few who
pushing.
can pull it off.
Yeah, like for instance, not even in the same realm of the kind of genre of music they make, but like Mike when he released Burning Desire, that was a pretty lengthy project,
Yeah,
but
he
from
pulled it off
start
for
to
sure.
finish, he
Yeah.
pulled it off amazingly, and I want to see more of that from him. But it's like, yeah, with Lucky, no, when Flawless Like Me came out, I was like, oh, we got a lot of tracks. But then I listened to it and I'm
I know
like,
you're like,
no, 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 no. Yeah,
yeah,
this he was onto something. He
yeah,
can kind of put you in an atmosphere, which is
yep.
a good thing. This is what I want from an artist, especially when they're going to release an album. And both me and you and I are very album preference heavy, so we're not here to listen to like a playlist. And so I really enjoyed it. I think he puts us in a good space. But still, I think personally for me, compared to Sex Money Drugs, I like that one more. I think it was tighter. I think it offered a little bit more of a very much a stronger vibe. Stronger vibe is really what we're on here with Lucky's music. And whether to you that feels like it's no longer valid, his music is deteriorating, that's understandable. I could see that. But it's just that like at some point in time, I guess both me and Vaughn realized that vibe music is just sometimes the best shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I want something to turn on,
Sometimes
kind
you
of
just
just
want
like
a vibe, bro.
be put into
Yeah,
a space and
it's
have
true.
a beautiful time with it. But
It's true.
how do
But
you feel?
I
Yeah.
will have to say, I kind of disagree. I think I like Sex Money Drugs, but as far as new era Lucky goes, I'm taking this one. I'm taking
Wow.
Flawless Like Me just because I do really like that long album, that hypnotic space that he
Mm-hmm.
puts you in. I
Mm-hmm.
think Sex Money Drugs was tighter, but that's not necessarily what I actually want from new Lucky at this point. So
Hey, you know what? I gotta respect that. I just personally also think that Sex Money Drugs had better beats as well. I mean, we're working with less music,
I don't
but
know. I don't
I
know.
still think about a lot
I
of
don't
those
know if I
beats,
can
and I
agree
even
with that
return to
either.
it
But you know,
to see if I
that's
felt that
okay.
way. But
That's valid, bro.
regardless, I think this is a good project, and maybe it's just because me and Vaughn are big lovers of Lucky, and I really feel like as long as he is providing great beats and still that kind of inflection in his voice and that flow, because Lucky's flows are
Yeah.
always just great. He finds some great pockets. I don't think we're ever going to be
Yeah.
disappointed by his work. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But Vaughn, I want to see a top three from you, bro. What are your top three takeaways on this album?
It was tough. It was tough deciding, but I
Yeah.
had to settle for All Love
Okay.
is gonna get up there. I love the beat on
Okay.
that one. Baby Goat,
Baby Goat.
admittedly, mainly for Future.
Baby
Future
Goat.
just kills it. And then I had to go Big Avell, bro, with Yachty. I fuck with
Wow.
that song.
Wow.
I love
Okay.
that song.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
I like those tracks. I think you listed a good strong top three for me. Straight off the bat, just getting them out the way, so I can talk about them. Give me All Love. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Exotic,
Fire.
and give me Heavy on My Heart. That's my
Okay.
top three.
Yeah.
In no real order, because honestly, I was trying to order them, and I was like, damn, I love all these three songs.
Yeah.
Well
And
above
I
the
could throw in
rest.
fucking 5 more songs too. So yeah, definitely no order for me either.
It's great to see him still releasing music, still kind of pushing himself, having fun, and not really deteriorating in that sound of style. Because I'm seeing a little bit more underground rappers. I don't really care to drop any names, but their beat selection's kind of falling off, and it's creating a problem. Yeet. Um, but hey,
Damn.
but hey,
Damn.
it's okay. I'm not really here to drop names. I'm not here to make enemies.
We
You
bumping
know.
that Ian though.
Oh, we're gonna have to talk about that, ladies and gentlemen, in another video, because we are in fact not bumping that Ian.
We are bumping that Ian, bro.
We are not
We're
bumping
bumping that.
Ian. We are not.
Sipping that walk, bumping that Ian, living the life. Living the life, everybody.
I can't subscribe to anything he's pushing to y'all. This is all of his doing. Please, if you're gonna do any of those things he just said, do them carefully with consideration. All right, or just don't do them at all.
Facts.
I think don't doing them
No,
at all would
that's
be the
facts.
better alternative. But hey, what do I know?
Everyone should give Lean a try.
But Vaughn,
I
do you have
don't
any
know.
closing thoughts about the Chi-Town rapper, since this is what we wanted to call him? Lucky, Chi-Town,
Lucky from Shy City.
Shy City, the CC, the double Chanel.
You know, I I'm really loving this album, honestly. I don't really have any major complaints. I wouldn't mind a little more effort on the next one to kind of bring some more interesting, engaging lyrics, but like I said, I mean it's just a vibe, and I really don't mind that. It's just a different type of lane. It's not necessarily worse.
Yeah,
It's just a different lane. You know what I'm saying?
I do agree with you. I think that, here on Share Guys, we're not here to look at music and be like, oh, it's not that good because it's just vibe music. You know what I'm saying? Here at Share Guys, we
Yeah.
welcome vibe music. We want to be put in an atmosphere. We want to be given a good little time. And this is what that project provides. And I really appreciate it for being that. I will say out of his more recent projects and the new, this one's gonna have to rank last for me, but that doesn't take away from it at all. I still think this is a great project. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it. All we have for you here on the Cherry Guys podcast. We're trying to make sure.
What are you rating it?
What am I rating it?
What are you rating it? Yeah.
I'm rating it 7 Geminis out of 12 Libras.
I would say 6 Sagittarius.
Oh, out of what? That's it? That's it?
That's it.
That's strong. That's strong, ladies. I know his scale
That's
personally, and that's strong. But ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you so much for watching this episode of the Cherry Guys podcast. We hope you guys are enjoying at first glance. We actually have a lot of fun making these. We think it's a good way for us to just kind of talk about our thoughts a little bit on an album. But ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you later.
Peace.
Shout out Todd Edwards.